Download now on iOS and Android.
The pro circuit marked a new dawn for Team Secret, a new day which welcomed two new faces, Fata and Ace. Fans were hesitant about the new Team Secret, but just like the year before, Puppy and Secret silenced the doubters. After working out the kinks at 2 minors, Team Secret found their spark at the Hamburg Major, taking home a silver medal, knocking out the TI7 champions Liquid in the process. Team Secret were impressive, but they had not reached their final form. Not yet. It wouldn't be until the Dream League Major in Sweden 1 month later that Team Secret would truly shine. After finishing 11-3 in the online stage, Team Secret were placed in the upper bracket, and they never left, smashing their way past Evil Geniuses, Newbie, and Liquid in the playoff bracket to end with a glorious 3-0 victory to claim their first major, adding a minor title to their trophy cabinet just a month later. Team Secret. The second half of the season was trickier for Team Secret, making it out of the group stages of Katowice, the Bucharest Major, and DAC 2018, but falling to the hands of experienced opposition in a series of tough single elimination matches. However, the Dream League Season 9 minor was a completely different story. Team Secret were on fire. A direct invite, Team Secret went through the entire tournament without dropping a single game. It was a masterclass of Dota, and the moment Ace was finally given the recognition he deserved. Team Secret were champions of Dream League once again, and the world could do nothing but sit back and applaud their brilliance.
Welcome back to the channel Dota2 Supermajor presented by Perfect World and PGL. And right now, unfortunately for Secret, all we can do is sit back and applaud Liquid's brilliance because they were the team to very dominantly take that first game. And to be fair, guys, you know, we talked about this matchup and it was going to be, you know, exciting. We're in upper bracket, everybody's doing really well, and everybody's coming up a high and all that. I was a little disappointed by the first game.
Unorthodox draft.
Unorthodox draft,
from Team
a little bit lackluster.
Monkey King support and Lone Druid and Arc Warden on the same team.
But this was also a lot on Liquid because they banned all the Aptor heroes, right? They banned Elder Titan and Skyward Rubik, so it's like, okay, what do I got? Let me try a Monkey, and it's terrible. It did not work out at all, so we'll see if they ban the same heroes.
But was this a draft then? Like, was that first game, was that just Seeker's like, okay, bad draft, go again?
I think if they substitute one of the slower heroes for maybe a faster paced one, it would have been a completely different story.
Like the Lone Druid or the Arc Warden replaced?
Yeah, Arc Warden. For sure, the Arc Warden was wrong pick there. Yeah. Way too slow for the lineup, and
They could have had something like Templar Assassin.
Yeah.
Mid matchup against the Lina would have given them Roche taking. I don't know. It's like
it's very difficult to analyze that.
Yeah. I think it's hard to decide on that last pick, and it's a cool idea. Like honestly, it's like the Arc Warden with the ranged Lone Druid form. You're really taking advantage of your high ground defense and where you play the bubble and where you play like away from the enemy team. To be honest, if you look at Liquid's lineup, they don't actually have any traditional blink initiators. The only real gap closer that they have is basically running at you with the movement speed that they have with Luna, as well as Death Prophet or Naga Siren Initiation. We saw in the high ground defense how effective that Naga Siren Initiation was.
Well, the only thing that Liquid needed to initiate was they just needed to push and then, you know, wait for Secret to try and stop them. So they didn't really need initiation with the amount of pressure they had.
I think the idea was that they were hoping that the Arc Warden bubble in protecting the towers would force Liquid to push forward maybe deeper than they wanted to, and that in turn means that Monkey King can get off like a good Wukong's command, right? If you envision they have to push forward closer to the tower next to a tree, all of a sudden Wukong's command comes out, you're in a kind of a nasty spot. If you can actually slow down and catch some of those heroes like with the Brewmaster, right? Big team fighter, good catching hero. Like that combination feels like we don't have to win every fight. If we just win 1 or 2, we're actually in a good spot as Secret.
So a couple of days ago, we saw Secret versus Optic, and Secret lost that first game as well. And then they came back 2 games in a row, and they crushed Optic. So, Sunsfan, you think that's going to happen here? What are you expecting for the second game?
I think it's totally dependent on the draft. I mean, obviously Secret can do it. They're very experienced. They've had a little bit of ups and downs, but like we talked about, they peaked a few months ago, but I think they're starting to come in a little bit better form than we've seen super recently. I think it's just dependent on the draft.
Well,
like if we get a little faster lineup.
Speak
perhaps.
of the devil.
Oh!
You know, in that first game, Secret had kind of a question. Well, at least one pick that stood out to me. They had that support Vengeful Spirit. I remember looking at that going like,
they had a
"Ooh,
lot of
that is
support Vengeful Spirit.
really ineffective for that game. I wasn't sure what the idea was behind it because it was facing Night Stalker and Lycan at the time, so I didn't feel like it was mega effective, nor was it a saving hero for anybody that was already on board. So
Poor Yapzor.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
again, they're
Yapzor's
just
suffering.
banning his heroes.
All right,
Elder Titan.
what do you guys like for Yapzor? I want to see some old school position for Earthshaker.
That hero is
It's
pretty
garbage,
pretty
but
hard. Yeah, because you're playing
it's
the 2-on-2 and you can't pressure the lane as well with this hero. Because it's a melee hero, so because of the 2-on-2 meta, it's just pretty weak right now.
Has he played Windrunner at all?
Yes. Yes, it
Who?
has.
Yes, Yapzor?
Wind
No,
Ranger?
never mind.
Wind Ranger.
No, he
Ranger.
has not. My bad.
really,
He should play it.
He has played this tournament. He has played Io, Phoenix, Elder Titan, Sky, and Rubik.
but I think he played it before this tournament, maybe like 2 or 3 tournaments ago. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm thinking about somebody else. But
It was GH that played Wind Ranger twice this
okay,
tournament.
maybe it was him.
It makes sense for Yapzor as well because that's a hero that's really good in the lane and he can kind of take over as a position 4 if he gets some farm on that hero. Good shackles. It's a really high skill hero, so really like to see that.
Well, we're just going to have a sort of plug-and-play draft. We take out the Beastmaster from the ban, put in Naga Siren, so like we're saying, okay, now we can have Beastmaster.
Could also just go for the Lasher Sanking. That's a hero that Sanking on Yapzor is something I'm sure he could play. Very high skill cap hero, get the dagger and just destroy the game. Would fit him pretty well. But I prefer Wind Ranger.
Oh, early axe. Nice.
Is it Axe Lesh? And try and imitate Axe Sky?
That's not bad. It's not bad. I'm sure they would have liked Beastmaster instead. Beast Guy.
Yeah. Beastmaster just feels a lot better right now as a core because I think he's just more reliable. Axe really needs a strong laning phase, and that's why I think he's paired up with these really strong 4-5 position harassing heroes that just shove out the enemy opposing support and put pressure. Oh, Wind Ranger is a good replacement.
Yes, super good laner. And as you said, Axe definitely needs a strong lane. And compared to Beastmaster, Beastmaster is just a hero that lanes way better. He's got super good CS, and he's always get that 6. And you don't need to wait for a dagger either. Because usually with Axe, you need to go Vanguard first, and then you need to go dagger, and then you get active. And even then, you kind of want the Blade Mail as well. Whereas Beastmaster, you can just get... It's more open for him because you can go to a Medallion to put more pressure, or you can go to Necro Book, or the Shadow Blade for more gank. So it's definitely a more solid hero for sure.
Is Wind Ranger going to be played by Yapzor because he hasn't played that competitively for the last at least 6 months?
I think it is the 4 position in this lineup. I don't think we're going to be seeing it mid. Wind Ranger, I think, is like the 3rd best harassing support hero. Particularly good at being able to put physical damage because his animation and base attack is not bad at level 1. And then Power Shot does a lot of damage. So basically any opposing support has a really hard time dealing with that. But Team Secret, whenever they had this in the second phase, they would have banned away those 5 positions. Warlock was one of them, right? But Team Liquid snatched it up. So now they do have an answer to this pressure, right? Warlock doesn't need to try and wrap from the side as a support. He's not going to get caught by these battle hunger, harassment plays or anything like that. He's just going to sit behind his core, heal him repeatedly, and hopefully between that and Tango's, the carry will be able to get CS without being pushed out of the lane.
Matumba Venomancer with those fatal bonds would be pretty filthy.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think any of those kind of ranged heroes that are tough to shut down. We've seen Gyrocopter picked up a lot against these Axe lineups. I think Venomancer was picked up by VP several times in response to a very clear aggro dual lane. There are plenty of heroes that fit into that, right? You could still run like Razor or something like that. You know, he's kind of out of the meta right now, but...
You know what I was surprised by is that Warlock has been a little bit of the flavor of this tournament. He's been seeing a lot of play. Been picked in 20 games, but he's only won 35% of them.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty bad, I thought, compared to what I thought he would be at anyway.
I mean, it's really the set is the reason that people are playing him anyway.
I don't even know what the set looks like.
Really?
Yeah.
It's good.
It's pretty cool.
Who cares about the sets? Come
I
on.
care about set. I think a lot of people
I think if you see it, it looks like something from Dota 1.
Or Lord of the
Warcraft.
Rings.
Or Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yes.
sick.
One of the advantages
remember.
of running Warlock is the fact that you can also still run a melee hero. It's difficult, but you can run it into this. I think Fnatic were always running the Warlock Spectre. I think that's not good, but it goes to show that because of the Warlock, you can run melee heroes into that aggro duel lane.
It is pretty fine actually, because Axe is a hero that naturally just pushes the lane as well.
Yeah.
So you just see us under the tower with the Spectre and Warlock, and later on as well, Spectre's really good against the Axe as well, because you just ult and just destroy his dagger initiation. But we've not seen that hero a lot this tournament,
Lesh
surprisingly.
is still there too. That's weird.
Secret have liked their Ogre a lot, so maybe they'll just pick that up again. Go back to something basic like Ogre, Luna.
Another one of the big advantages of the Axe is that you hard counter so many of the safe lane carries right now, not just from the laning phase, but if you can get your items and if you get them in a timely manner, Blink Blade Mail destroys like so many carries right now. So a couple of them can't be run by Team Liquid, like the Slark, which they ban away.
Is there any way Liquid does not take Lesh if they get the opportunity here?
Yeah, it's...
I think the way, if you look at Clockwork Sand King, it was at ESL 1 Birmingham, they would run like Clockwork Gyrocopter against the Axe dual lane, and they would have that melee support basically just giving space to the hero. And then in this case, they could have Warlock paired up with the Beastmaster at bottom lane. So there are a lot of options for Team Liquid.
You didn't like the Venge in one of the Secret's earlier drafts. They have picked it quite a bit. Do you feel like Venge is a good pick? I mean, you got, you know, a roar save type of scenario going on here.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound convinced.
It's just because we don't know what the Team Liquid cores are going to be yet, and you don't have a clear saving arrow. Axe Venge is pretty okay, though.
Okay. What do you want to see from Liquid Bulldog?
Usually, as we talked about, Venomancer is pretty fun. I love to watch that hero.
Fun.
To watch it, not to play against it. They also like a lot of Visage, but Visage is kind of countered by the Axe here. You just spin and kill those. So I usually just pick something that creates space. Laundry is still open here, so we know that even Matumaman likes that hero a lot, as well as Team Secret, so that's definitely a hero that could be picked up.
I've actually seen Liquid play Venge, I think, this tournament as well. But they teamed it up with Beast, Shadow Fiend, and I believe Elder Titan, if memory serves. Basically a very heavy aura strat. Not sure if that's technically a deny pick in the Venge, but
They did
could
play
very
with
well
that. Yeah.
Just go to DP as well if you want Tusk or Tusk.
re-emerges from the depths.
So there's going to be potentially your melee support that backs up your ranged carry at the top lane.
Yeah, it's also a really good save against Axe and the Shackle shot. You just blink in, Snowball stops that completely, which is really good. Liquid could also just usually want to go that natural Yule's builder for Axe, so you could go to DP to stop his initiation as well.
5 seconds remaining.
Bit of Snowball is always nice, especially when you put it on someone like GH. Pretty good player.
There is still the option that Team Secret could make this a core win ranger. We're talking about 4 position Yapzor. It's not the worst core win ranger game yet. It's not great versus Beastmaster, though. That would be my biggest concern.
Could just also Secret has played a little bit of PL if they want. I'm not sure if it's good against Warlock, because it kind of soaks up your the fatal bonds and the illusion just dies. Not sure if that's good or not.
You ignore a lot of the upheaval because of the Phantom Rush.
Yeah.
Doppelgangering around as well.
It's one of the few heroes that also kind of matches up against Beastmaster's damage. Because Beastmaster's got that insane damage and CS potential, and PL is one of the few heroes that kind of can go toe-to-toe with that.
If you're Liquid, any sort of Yule's carry is going to be nice. So I actually think that maybe Lina's still acceptable. Death Prophet is
All right, this is
out
kind
there
of
as
weird,
well.
but is there any way we get a last pick Drow?
On
Yes.
the secret
Yeah.
side.
Secret, yeah.
Look at all the range damage and the
That-
auras.
Very
Oh.
dirty.
Yeah, they have played it, so
10
definitely
seconds
looks like one of those games, but
Still risky.
Liquid
All of
should
this.
also see that kind of coming. When you have 3 range heroes, they played it, and this is the second game they're losing, so you kind of want to cheat a little bit.
I know it may be squishy, but if they ban out Dro, you could also go for Luna, right? I mean, it might not be the same as Dro, but at least you got all the auras still as well. And think of the push that you can do with that. It's great as well.
And now you got the Tinker to stop
Never
that.
mind, no push coming.
And Luna's aura is not global, however,
True.
sadly enough.
There is a lot of
Hope he was.
there are a lot of small hunting things though. Team Secret had the vision from Venge into Swap. They have invisibility that Tinker has to worry about. Power
10
Shot
seconds remaining.
can spot out some areas, and then Axe giving
Blink
the
calls.
opportunity to
5
blink
seconds
in. So
remaining.
it's not a hard Tinker game by any means, but there are small things that Secret have to be able to catch him.
A
Yeah.
lot of them.
Usually it's not enough to have small counters. If you want to kill Tinker, you need kind of like a Zeus or maybe a Clock to actually get to him and kill him. Because if you arrow, like Miracle, he's going to blink out. He's not going to get hit by arrows. We're talking about Miracle here. Come on.
Last pick will again go to Team Secret, so they get to see the full 5 squad of Liquid before picking their last hero.
Team Liquid's turn to
Surely you're
ban.
going to ban Dro here.
Razor, safe lane, Venomancer, safe lane, Death Prophet, safe lane. I think those are
I like Veno a lot.
Veno.
You just delay the game super late. You got a good pick off with the Beastmaster and Vision from it, and Tinker as well. You can just zip around, and you maybe could be afraid that you don't have good late game, but Venomancer late game is honestly, in my opinion, one of the strongest as well. It's just
10
super.
seconds
Last
Super nice
time
play, yes.
they had the Tinker, they went for the Visage with it. They had
Yeah, it's kind of hard against Axe though.
Yeah.
I agree with Venomancer because I think it's a great hero to just kind of push forward, and it's hard to jump on, right? Like you have to basically chain stun him down. You're really afraid of this Poison Nova. You need a very strong frontline core, and not just the Beastmaster to operate that role.
Yeah, you also Team Secret could also maybe pick a TA here, T or Dro,
Liquid's turn
about the
to
Dro.
pick.
Makes a lot of sense.
So it wasn't that crazy of a call at all, since fan.
Yep.
Very smart. Any panelists?
Thank you. Thank you.
Not bad at all.
Happens once in a while.
All right, since it's usually a 50-50
Yeah.
with me, I'm going to say, even though maybe not the greatest pick, what do you think of Medusa for Secret?
Don't push.
I'm pushing my luck here.
Dusa
I like going all
versus
in.
Tinker is a rough
bad.
matchup. Yeah.
Yeah, you had your going on. You just
Damn it.
Not talking anymore.
You flew too close to the Suns, man.
Just wait
Chris.
until Medusa is picked, and, you know.
So they pick
Still-
Visage even though there's an axe. Interesting.
Sure.
Oh, you can teleport on the birds. How great is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. And the hawk. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a lot of mobility for Tinker.
Think of all
It-
the sneaky plays.
If he does get his farm, though, he is kind of one of those sort of like tankier heroes that you don't want to go on.
10 seconds
Secret.
remaining.
The hero pool is wide.
5
Yep.
seconds remaining.
Puppy would have picked Dro there if they wanted, but again, Puppy should have expected a ban there. Maybe you just go for the TA, put a lot of pressure, try to end the game a little bit earlier with the momentum, can go quick Roche with the vengeful TA.
You're gonna put Mirana for Ace?
It is
Most likely Ace Mirana. Or PL
Let's go
for
back
mid
for the
one.
PL I've talked about. Sure. Sure.
so PL will match up into. Is he gonna go mid against the Tinker?
Yeah, looks like mid one is playing it. Should be pretty okay.
You don't have any objective takers, but you do have a very fast lineup from Secret. Like pretty much no long cooldowns. On
That's
their
what we
side,
wanted.
right?
Based on previous game, we said, well, their lineup is very slow, so a faster lineup surely
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah, so they're basically the way they have to play this lineup is they just have to kind of like keep on hitting Liquid over and over again because you don't have that clear, I kill this person, I now take 2 objectives sort of lineup. Like they've got just basically okay physical damage.
Is it enough for you to sway their way?
No, I'm going to go Liquid again.
Okay.
I think that the Tinker will just slow down this game enough that he'll become too big.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I'm going to say my analysis is that Secret is going to get dumpstered. They're weaker than Liquid, and their lineup is trash.
Okay. I'm going to continue the trend of picking against heroes that I hate. First was Arc Warden. I hate Tinker, so I'm going to actually go Secret.
Yeah, over Secret.
Good reason.
All right, let's find out what's going to happen in game number 2 and see if Team Secret can force out that 3rd game and stay in the upper bracket, or if Team Liquid is just going to get top 3 just like that with a 2-0 sweep with Trent and Sayori.
Mahalo, Sheever, game number 2 set to get underway. Trent, do you have confidence in the Tinker alongside the panel?
Will Suns fan be satisfied in a Tinker loss? That's the real question.
I, for one, believe. I think they've got the tools. I know Axe is pretty good against all these summons. You got these birds flying around. You got little boars mixed into the fray, but so many options for that Tinker to TP into the backline, and most importantly, the vision game. Just knowing where they are, how to initiate. I think that's the big advantage for Liquid.
I think if I'm looking at Liquid in terms of like some of the issues with their draft, I feel like GH has a really hard game ahead of him. He just has like, well, like who do you go on? They have Leap. They now went with a Doppelganger at the end, even just Wind Run. Like there's very irritating things during these team fights for him. So he just kind of has to relax and be this, I don't know, sort of defensive Tusk. But at the same time, the other hero is a Warlock. So they don't really have these nice kind of play around 4 and 5 heroes. So I do worry a little bit about how much space they'll be able to buy for the Tinker in the early game.
Okay, definitely a fair concern. We'll see some bounty runes come out. A ward placed pretty deep. Now down bottom, Ace grabs that bounty rune. No first blood drawn, at least not yet. Ace able to leap down to the low ground, and I think he'll be just fine here. GH in mind control trying to pursue, but you were mentioning Mirana, not the easiest hero to lock down. Now on the other side, Matumba Man actually going blow for blow with Yapzor as Fada lays in some right clicks, but Kuro's there with the Shadow Word.
Yeah, Matu even forced a TP here just to get over to his tower.
Okay. So some early pressure, but they all survive. Well, looking at the lanes, mid, Tinker on PL. Should
How
be
exciting.
a lane that PL can at least handle, but probably not too much kill threat. And then we'll just see dual lanes on the sides.
Yeah, he's got a couple options, right? Laser comes out. Theoretically, there's like doppelganger stuff he can do, but at the same time, it still works the same way because you can laser before he wants to go for a last hit, and you can't just doppelganger and then get a last hit.
Right.
Relatively irritating.
It's
so
not a fun lane for the PL by any stretch.
But it's a PL. He spams, he harasses. He gets a lot of courier love, and he should be a-okay.
So top lane, Wind Ranger and Axe going to be the lineup for Secret up against the Warlock and Visage. We'll see Kuro kind of stay in this box we talked about. Trent, just hide in his tower, stay safe, and make sure this Visage does not get harassed too much.
Yes, successful Warlock gamers. That is the play. Do not leave the box.
Hide under the tower.
Yes, never leave.
And now down bottom, GH actually trading some blows with Puppey. Mind control comes to the backside. Puppey will get blocked out, and this could be your first blood. The snowball in, and GH will find the kill. But Ace, looking for the counter, leaps over, connects with some arrows, and those right clicks make it a 1-for-1.
Great start here in the laning phase, though. He only has so many targets he can go on. Veg is definitely one of them.
Arrow almost connects on mind control there. Probably would have been another counter kill, but alas, he's able to sidestep, and Beastmaster lives. So what do you think about Tusk right now? He's actually been talked about a lot this tournament as one who's been nerfed. Maybe we'd see him picked up a little bit. Do you think Tusk has a place in the current meta, Trent?
I don't think he's gone completely, of course. I mean, some teams still looking back towards him. It's just he has to be played a little bit differently. He suffers from a lot of the same problems that Earth Spirit does, and that one of their main roles in ganking mid over and over is just gone now. It's very difficult to make that rotation, make it effective, and you lost a big part of the overall gameplay. So,
yeah. Well,
Sometimes there's just better heroes. He's still good in the side lanes, though, unlike Earth Spirit.
Speaking of side lanes, down bottom, Puppey getting repelled pretty hard. Will make it back under his tower. Throws a counter stun the other way onto Mind Control, but no follow-up arrow. Top lane, though, a lot of action coming from Secret. Big dive onto Kuroki, and this Warlock, he's still inside of his box, but he just takes too much damage. A shackle to start things off. Matumba Man, only level 2. Grave Chill onto Fada, but it just tickles. This has not been an easy lane for the Visage.
Yeah, it turns out it's not the safety zone if they're just going to keep pushing into your tower, though. So Secret finding the answer to this. He's constantly bullying over and over. And Yapsor even, like, he just got the power shot, too, which is kind of interesting, right? Not exactly the way you expect this to go, but this is where the real spam will begin. And you got to try and figure out just how much harass to put on the Visage, or maybe you can force a heal from Kuro onto himself.
Yeah, definitely. Axis felt like one of these heroes that's a little bit hot or cold. If he has that slow start, sure, he can get the initiations, but then you can just turn and blow him up in return. But with this kind of farm, this kind of pressure, you can probably expect Fada to play a role in the driver's seat. They will initiate onto Matumba Man. He's got some infused raindrops. That helps. But again, the heal from Warlock just not enough. Kuro's still only level 2, but he gets Fatal Bonds, connects on both heroes. Is it going to be enough for a kill? Wind Run from Yapsor mitigates a little bit of damage, and Fada will just use that healing salve, stays alive as he makes it into Fog.
All right, nice save from Yapsor there, dodging that damage. Just chill ourselves at 3-1 here, but Matsu just back in the lane, back to last sitting, and trying to catch up there to Fada, who is up ahead. So another one of these tread axes here, just playing in the lane.
Down
Mid
bottom.
one, man. Look at that nuke damage in the mid.
Shards come out, but GH tanks an arrow point blank. He goes in onto Puppey, and it's actually going to be kill on the Vengeful Spirit. However, Ace brings down GH first. Now, Ace and Mind Control trading blows. There are still 2 more leaps available, so Mind Control needs to be careful
in
here.
1 second here, yeah.
He's already used his stick charges. He turns to the Wild Axes, but it's not enough, and a double secured for the Radiant Mirana.
This Mirana hero, she's doing quite well in a lot of these games. As mid one forced to salve up, you can see had a little engagement in the mid, had to use the Doppelganger, saved it for the dodge on the Rockets, and that means the 3-2 build. Oh, yeah,
Shackle
nice.
connects onto Miracle. This should be a dead Tinker as Yapsor picks up another for Secret. 6-2 in the first 5. This game feeling a lot better for Team Secret.
Yeah, very solid rotation there.
Now, back down bottom, a battle over the bounty runes. Puppey trying to bring down GH, but there's that snowball. Actually uses it onto Ace. They still get the kill on Puppey. GH with the stick charges will live a little bit longer, trying to move into the fog, but that last arrow will still bring him down through the healing salve. Mind Control still only level 4. No way to finish off Ace. Through all these trades in the bottom lane, this Mirana is absolutely the big winner.
At the very least, GH did get the bounty rune first, so then Mind Control will back away and get his.
Small victory. If you tab onto that net worth real quick, Mirana sitting happily at the top of the charts, far and ahead
really
of Matumba Man in the other lane. That shackle does latch, but no follow-up from Fada.
Yeah, it's been a great start for Fada here on the Axe. Looking forward to see just how much, I feel like a lot of these Axes have had a lot of trouble transitioning into the mid game, where they get these really sick pressure lanes over and over. They get a little bit of farm going, maybe they get that Vanguard, and then it feels like it all just stops. Our most successful Axes traditionally will get that Vanguard and then use it to farm the Ancients. Try and use that to get yourself accelerated into the Blink Dagger. So if he goes that route, I'd like to see that. If not, if he goes Blink first.
GH with the bait, he moves into Roche. Pops out the Ice Shards, but it might just swing the other way. Yapsor is making the rotation. Snowball across the way, but Doppelganger disjoints the stun. The counterplay onto Miracle. It's a dead Tinker. Puppey getting low, but he might just survive through it as GH gets shackled. 2 down on Liquid. Secret with all 5 still alive.
9-3 now, over a 1K lead. And Mind Control, though, he is kind of forcing some threat down here onto Ace. He has the Roar. Ace has to be careful about stacking up. Remember that bonus damage?
It's true. Big rotations from Secret to make that happen. And they will shrine up in the top, but finally a little bit of breathing room from Matumba Man. His CS was really suffering from so much pressure on the lane, but now he is getting room to recover. So always an opportunity cost with those kind of rotations.
The question is, where will Miracle be in this game?
Yeah, well, even with all these kills on Miracle, he's still trading pretty evenly with mid one. You know, it's not a free lane for PL by any stretch, and they're within a couple hundred net worth of each other. Yep. Still not that bad for the Tinker. And as we saw last game, Liquid is so good at creating space for Miracle if he gets picked on in the laning stage like this.
And they are looking to keep this threat on Namatu, though. Just going right into the wave, going to nuke it down. He's going to show himself here, and there's a lot of stuns nearby.
Shackle will connect. Matumba Man Does have those infused raindrops still. A lot of stick charges in Secret. Gonna have to back out. Moonlight Shadow's been used as well as the Primal Roar from Mind Control. Now the Berserker's call. They lock him in place, and this Beastmaster in a lot of trouble. They'll still kill Fada first, and actually Liquid have the advantage here. They're gonna go 1 for 2, and maybe even more. Yapzor in the trees will just TP out under the cover of the Moonlight Shadow. Kuro coming in the backside.
Down bottom too.
Making that
hunted.
one happen. Oh, he's gonna live.
Yeah.
Needed one more. Okay, so a big sign of life for Liquid in that top lane.
Yeah, I don't know. That was like, you got your one freebie where they didn't bring detection, and you're like, oh yeah, it's Mirana game. Someone get dust, be ready for it, and they kind of threw it away there by going back on the aggro.
Miracle taunted by Fada. GH with the snowball. Would have been awkward back and forth mid one, looking for a Spirit Lance, but Miracle makes it into the tree line. Great use of the ice shards.
And they might not last that long anymore early on, but that'll be long enough.
No doubt. Still tons of space for this Mirana in the bottom lane. 4-0-0 on Ace, just racking up the last hits. Still no pressure on that tower, but 3,800 net worth at 9 minutes. That's something you'll be pretty happy with as a safe lane Mirana.
Yeah, and we saw last game what happened for Mind Control is that he got a bunch of kills early. He was like 6-3, and then moving into that Maelstrom, there's a little bit of a quiet phase, but then they just started team fighting, and he was so much damage to work around Matu in that game. This time he's going to have an axe, so if there's a decent initiation there, that is going to be brutal. Like, Fada catches a couple people, he's going to be there with a Tesla Mirana going to work. That leap attack speed.
Now up top, Matumba Man putting some pressure onto Yapzor. He does pick up the Helm of the Dominator. 1 stun, make it 2, and now that Centaur's got a War Stomp. Wind Run's already been used, but a Shackle connects, and Matu will not secure this kill. Instead, he loses his Centaur. Now Fada, this is a level 6 axe. In hot pursuit with the Battle Hunger, but Grave Chill, pretty darn effective to counter that movement speed slow. Forces the TP out of GH in case they dive the Visage, but Secret will just back up.
Feels like a lot of pressure has been relieved off of Miracle at the very least, though. As, yeah, it's Kuro and Ace going to work. Man, that damage from Mirana already.
Yeah, it's brutal. Luckily for Warlock, he does have level 4, 2 points in the Shadow Word.
Yeah, and in terms of stacks, the jungle is not that bad for Miracle at all. He goes and makes another one for himself there. He's got a couple near the shrine. He's got another one up on the high ground.
Definitely the way Tinkers like to recover. That March of the Machine works wonders if you get a few minutes alone in the jungle. Things slowing down a little bit, but it's Secret maintaining this lead, 10-5, and a pretty significant net worth advantage with all 3 of their cores at the top of the chart.
Yeah, I think Yapzor with the level 6, though, I'd really like to see some smoke plays soon. I think him and Puppy maybe joining up with Fada could be a play. Fada, speaking of which, is gone on here.
Yep, he does have a haste rune, though, tucked away in the bottle, so pretty easy retreat. And that Vanguard just creep kill away. Actually stopped for the power tres just to go straight into the Vanguard. Has that belt of strength just sitting in the backpack.
Yeah, just needs to get that done. Get into the Vanguard if he wants it, and use that for those Ancients once again. I think they already have a stack there for him, so they've already got that on the mind here for Team Secret.
The other great thing about Tinker spending some time in the jungle now, it's not only recovery farm for Miracle, but this is space for someone else to take that XP in the mid. They're going to try to give it to GH, and now he snowballs in onto mid 1. There's a Doppelganger to disjoint. He'll be able to survive no problem, but getting this Tusk towards level 6, increasing your kill potential, burst potential for Liquid, very important.
Yeah, just such a hard kill to get, though. I mean, it's not just the fact that he can jump over the shards, but even the initial snowball several times this game, we've all seen it. Mid 1 able to dodge it with ease with the Doppelganger, and then have turnaround threats onto Miracle or GH, like that fight in the mid earlier. So this time, Fada feels like he's been everywhere, all the way down in the bottom at this point.
Yeah, now making the rotation, and that just leaves space for Yapzor up top. It's now a level 8 Wind Ranger, Brown Boots, Null Tally, but Maelstrom going to be next up on the docket, so expect some damage to be done there. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Primal Roar onto Fada. Kuro is level 6, so Chaotic Offering is a possibility if Secret get too aggressive, but they will just keep their axe safe and head back to friendly territory. Meanwhile, on the other side, smoke now from Liquid. Ace with the wraparound, breaks the smoke on GH, but he's on the low ground. He sees the courier, can't quite finish that off. Leap 1, leap 2, now the ice shards fly. He's got 1 leaf coming up soon, but stuns from the Visage Birds. Ace in a lot of trouble, comes in the nick of time as he makes it back into the river. The Rockets don't have the damage, and this Mirana will survive.
Yeah, Kuro just walked right past him. Might have been a good time to go for it. Now it feels like he's chasing after. Maybe a bit too focused on that mid area.
Yep. Gets a ward down, though, and they do secure a deny on that tier 1 tower mid. Does open up the map for Secret to try to pressure this Tinker even more now, but at least they don't get a gold advantage.
Bit of a brutal couple of minutes here for Liquid. I mean, the roar first on Afada, not getting anything done. You're like roaring as the smoke supports are coming through. And again, I really do think this like support, Tusk, and Warlock are going to have a really hard time making this nice early space that you want to see. Matu, of course, with the helm and the medallion, he's got these early items up. He's kind of the strong force here.
Nice kill on the tower. Yapzor will finish it off as they initiate onto mind control. Looks like he'll be okay. Now a fight breaking out in the mid lane. Liquid in, maybe a bit deep. Snowball onto Fada as the Wind Ranger tries to make the TP. GH likely to get left behind here. Not much Liquid can do as Axe brings him down with a slam dunk.
Yeah, Kuro's been sitting back here for so long. He came down in here, he got the ward down, hoping to create some sort of a fight in the mid so that he can drop the rock from behind, but if GH just goes down there, they can't seem to find this pressure, and, well, Kuro's just kind of stuck.
Yep. Double stack of Ancients here for Secret as they shrine up again.
I think Kuro went to the bathroom.
He's still there.
He's gone, man. He checked out.
There we go. Going to TP down bottom now to join the rest of the squad. Medallion up on the Visage after that HOD, looking for a kill onto Ace.
Yeah, on the low ground here.
Not the easiest target to find, but the birds flying overhead. Ace is fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many heroes there that if a Tusk finds you like that, you're just dead, you know? But obviously, Secret well prepared in this draft here, looking out for that. But they will still be able to force down this tower with relative ease. Now, Mind Control, he's still going for the Necros, which is kind of interesting too, up against the Axe and everything. But, I mean, we also pointed out at the same time you're up against the Visage and everything. So, how many summons can he grab with one call, right? Just get more summons, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I guess there's a certain critical mass where more damage is, well, it's just more damage. But certainly feels like a slightly outdated build on the Beastmaster compared to like the Shadow Blade, Medallion, Solar Crest that we've seen, much more focused on that initiation. But we'll see how the Necro books work out this game. Liquid still pressuring deep in enemy territory, chipping at this tier 2. They forced a reaction out of Secret. Fada with the Vanguard up, still farming towards that blink. Snowball in towards Yapzor. A Dust will be used as soon as the Moonlight Shadow's deployed. GH, though, in pretty deep as the Shackle latches.
Holding the rock.
Rock comes out, connects on 2. Some Fatal Bonds also fly, but Fada in big trouble. Arrow across the way, not going to connect, and the Axe will be the first casualty. Tinker March starting to stack up. More rockets coming in. Ace able to leap to the low ground. He lives through it. Puppy, however, not so lucky. Now mid one. Joining the party, he runs right in onto Matu. Doppelganger defensively. Ice Shard's not going to connect. Liquid pretty committed here, Trent. They're past the tier 2, which is still relatively healthy. I think still an option for Secret to punish this if Liquid can't get out.
Yeah, possibly. I think just right now, Chase not really going to be a big issue.
Yeah.
Okay. And they'll be able to slowly back themselves away here. Mid one. Yeah, he was like, he's working on the, well, actually he's going to get the Yasha, not going to go for the Diffusal Blade.
Just going to say, yeah, a little bit of a change of pace. Thoughts about this item build?
Just maybe not so fight heavy early on. Just looking more of some farm. Just might even be considering the SNY for some tankability so he can actually fight inside the March. I think during that fight he couldn't even get in once it was already laid down, but
not a bad option against the Tinker. But speak of the devil, it's mid one initiated on. GH starts things off, and there's enough follow-up from Matumba Man. Doppelganger once more. PL trying desperately to live, but Miracle joins the party with his newly fashioned BOTs and secures the kill. Blink Dagger bots up on Tinker. It was a slow start for Miracle, but once again, he has recovered.
Yeah, and this kind of feels like that same window that Mind Control hit for a little bit, where like Ace hasn't really been able to convert too much of this Maelstrom into a lot of like team fights for damage, and then we had that sudden fight mid, and Liquid just took over the whole game. So I'm not sure if Secret are ready to start going in towards that. They're kind of just waiting on this Blink Dagger, and this is run into that same sort of problem where you have the Vanguard on Fada, but if he can't start creating fights across the map, he's just kind of a dead hero. He goes to try and hold these towers and everything. And they haven't really been working too hard with Yapzor either, because he's also busy farming. So you're up against this draft that you kind of thought you'd be able to go in on early as Miracle. He's actually going to finish that TP, hoping for a little bit of damage there.
Uh-oh, they're going to get a kill on Yapzor. Yeah. Ends up being basically a freebie. It looks like the bottom tier 2 will go undefended now, and this will level out that net worth advantage that Secret had. And it will swing in favor of Liquid. You look at that gold graph, and it tells a pretty scary story for Secret fans around the world. That advantage completely squandered.
Yeah, and up against Tinker Draft, you're feeling the pressure. So instead, Secret have kind of said, all right, we're going to get our certain items up. You know, we're going to get damage on Yap, so we're just going to kind of like outcore you. Yes, you have this Tinker Draft and everything, but the other two heroes, the Beastmaster and the Visage, they're not terrible heading mid and late or anything like that, but no, you know, we're going to try and just outnumber you. We'll be 4v3 essentially. You guys will have Tusk and Warlock, and we'll just have a support Venge, and everyone else is going to try and get themselves up to the core levels. If that'll happen, we'll see. You know, a lot of it kind of relying on just how fast YapzOr can get this Maelstrom.
Arrow flies through. Looks like it connected on one of the summons there. Liquid taking some risk by moving into the Roach Pit. They do have a Kuro ultimate, so that's a chaotic offering. Secret, they don't have PL here.
Oh, this is the blink reveal for Fada.
Maybe the big cause for concern. Moonlight Shadow, Sentry Ward gets destroyed, and Secret aren't going to find that angle to initiate. Liquid get out just in time before that blink call comes. Maybe anticipating that if Fada doesn't have the blink dagger yet, he could have it at any moment, so they do play it safe.
Yep. And I mean, it's a very dangerous play either way. They'll see Fada rotating now through. They have very good vision. Oh, that's a solo kill. Bottom. Whoops.
Well, now your Tinker is about halfway to the Aghanim Scepter, and Secret's life is about to get a lot more difficult. But 4v5, now this Roche feels a lot more safe. Look at the positioning from Kuro outside of the pit. Puppey now initiated on as the Ice Shards come, but Fada follows up onto the Tinker. There's no one else inbound, though. The chaotic offering comes. Now Fada's going to get turned on. Primal Roar used onto YapzOr. They do get the kill onto Miracle after all, but it will cost them at least the axe. Looks like the others will make it out. Still, this seems like Liquid's Roche.
Yeah, there's a lot of spams coming through. The arrows, the power shots, but they just can't get the bodies inside, so... I mean, you're probably pretty happy with that. Net worth-wise, that is going to go Secret's way, other than the whole Roche bounty and everything like that. But YapzOr, he's this hero that really needs this gold. He wants the Maelstrom, he wants the Blink Dagger, he wants to become another core, so that is the hero you want the kill on. He's actually creeping up onto mid one, which that might be, you know, that's a good thing. It's also a little concerning. You know, mid one, you're kind of hoping he's a little bit further up here right now, but he's playing the farm game.
I'm always concerned about those trades where Tinker has an incredible ability to recover. You know, little deaths like that are going to happen. He's expecting to get caught. Axe, you need to be careful how many times you take trades like that, because as Axe falls behind, he just becomes so much less of a threat. See Ace up top playing with Matumba Man as bounty runes come out, but the Visage a little scary with these birds right now. Aghanim Scepter going to be queued up next from Matumba Man, as he already has that Solar Crest, and now Blink Dagger on Tusk. Huge stuff for GH now, of course, giving him so many more options to initiate.
Yeah, it basically just changes the hero completely. You can now just like blink Walrus Punch or blink Instant Snowball kind of deal, so that he doesn't have to worry too much about these leaps and everything jumping away from him. And of course, the most important thing, the blink save.
Yeah.
Try and counter out some of these Axe plays.
I think Aghanim Scepter on the Tinker, always a big turning point as well. Ups his damage so much and makes that laser an absolute counter to the PL.
Looking for the arrow here, considering it.
Matumba Man kind of hiding in the tree line. Picks up a siege creep, so a double siege now in this top lane.
Yeah, he knows Ace is nearby, though. He's kind of scouting it out here.
Suspicious looking siege creep as Ace is going to finish it off. That's a nice little bounty for him, but here we go. Birds with the Tinker BOTs, they cancel it.
Yeah, good choice, because YapzOr was nearby. One shackle there and he might go down.
But still, that doesn't cost Liquid anything, and that is a constant threat.
And look at this like foresight from Liquid too, with the Tinker Ward coverage down bottom over top of Miracle. They have sentries and observers in the area, and they know they don't have to worry about TPing into those trees.
Up top, a lot of movement now from Liquid. Mind Control kind of leading the charge. This is a level 3 Necro book. So, great dewarding tool and big time damage now.
Yeah, they're taking down this tower while they still don't have the Golem too. So it's not going to get any easier onto the push into the tier 2 for the side of Team Secret.
Yep, Golem up in about 5 seconds. So it can definitely take a team fight and try to force this down. What's the reaction from Secret, though? They've got 2 heroes right now. Right now, PL farming in the jungle, and Axe just pressuring that bottom lane. Glyph used straight away, but this tower falling very quickly. They need another creep wave.
Yeah, it's just so long before mid one. Like, he went for the Yasha, sure, but now he's just getting the Diffusal Blade. Didn't go for like an SMY or something, so didn't start committing in towards these fights. It's been just a long while before you can actually be there to help out the team.
Yep, newly fashioned Crimson Guard now by Fada. Able to help defend this tower. Incredible Crimson Guard game.
Super helpful, but they at least can't spam these waves. So far, so good for the side of Secret. The question is, though, what are they losing on the rest of the map? Miracle, he's trading farm right now with mid one.
Secret definitely getting a little bit more out of this, at least for the moment. It is sort of going back and forth, but not anymore. Mid one def bottom, soloed by the Tinker again as we go back up top. Snowball in onto Fada and the blink back, but still Shackle latches on GH. Swap from Puppey to secure the kill. A little misstep there, but they get the tier 2 tower. All things considered, Liquid can't be too upset with that. If your Tinker is solo killing the enemy position 1, you're still having a damn good time.
Yeah, he's got the blink eggs. I mean, he just obliterates the illusions. Plus, there's no kill threat anyway, because there's no defusal blade, really. You're not that worried about this PL. Cannot be on these side lanes alone versus the Tinker.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, what, the 3rd time that that's happened now? Just a complete solo kill. Tinker, by and large, #1 on net worth, and Miracle, there's just nothing slowing him down. He'll continue to accelerate. Kaya coming up next.
Yeah, and Ace again, like he starts out 4-0-0 in the laning stage. Now he's up 4-0-2, but this hero, all these great Miranda games have been crazy amount of kills early on. As Fada, well, he'll get his blink possibilities canceled there. Miracle just dancing in and out here, playing with them.
Miracle doing Tinker things as he finishes off Fada again. Another solo kill as we go back towards mid. Mirana forced to leap defensively, but Liquid doing this 4+1 so beautifully, pulling Secret's attention all over the map, and now with only 4 heroes, they can't defend this tier 2. It's another objective going the way of Liquid, and now Yapzor gets caught. Miracle is just everywhere.
I mean, Yapzor's just like trying to buy a blink dagger at the side shop to go for the blink out, and he can't find a play.
This is turning into another disastrous game for Secret. It looked so good at the beginning, but now how do they handle this Tinker? What do they do, Trent?
I mean, they have to obviously have to try and find these kills on top of him, but every single time he's just like, he's able to see what they're doing. They've had such deep vision from the side of Liquid that he knows when these heroes are alone. He knows when he can make these plays. Like, look at that ward up top, man. He saw what Yapzor was doing up there. Knew he was completely alone. They have both Tinker ward spots, Sentry and Observer.
Oh, Puppey just walks in a little bit too far. He goes down immediately. Ace on the backside with the BKB. Primal Roar cuts right through it. It's a double from Matumba Man. The tier 3's already fallen, and now the base for Secret is under siege. This should be at least 1 lane of barracks. Fata's respawn does have a Blink Berserker's Call, but the positioning from Liquid is just too good. There's still a chaotic offering.
This feels like the Matu by BKB. Just not even necessary.
Absolutely. Mid lane will now be turned to rubble. All the outer towers are down, and Liquid might not even have to retreat. Their entire team is topped off. The only one low on mana is the Beastmaster because he's already used the ultimate. Mirana's still down for 15. No buyback there. No glyph for Secret as well. Another minute and a half until that refreshes. That'll be another tier 3 with Mirana coming up. Liquid seem to be a little more cautious, but with Chaotic offering, this doesn't really feel that risky. Now swap from Puppey onto Matumba Man. The Snowball on the way in. It's a beautiful save as Puppey goes down. Chaotic offering on 3. Secret getting obliterated as Liquid run him down in 2 quick games. My word, Secret already dropped down to the lower bracket in one of the most one-sided series we've seen here in the playoffs.
This is not what the upper bracket was supposed to look like. You know, that does not look like an upper bracket game. Team Liquid absolutely brutalizing their opponents. The high fives are there. I mean, Miracle, I know he got MVP game 1, but my God, they just gave him such a platform this game, put him up on the pedestal, and did he ever deliver?
An absolute clinic. And again, that wasn't a free game for Miracle. They pressured him early on. They killed him multiple times in the laning phase. It's like it was a non-factor. It's almost like those kills didn't happen.
I think Liquid, what this showed was they just had a lot of confidence in the strategy, right? They've done this before. This isn't like some new thing, not a surprise. The axe was there. Secret kind of saw this coming. I'm sure they were like, it might be a Visage last. You know, we'll ban something else, but it could be the Visage. Just be aware. And what did Liquid do? Did they change the plan at all? No. They somewhat Necros on the Beastmaster. They got the early second bird on the Visage, the third one rather, and they just marched down, and it made it look easy, honestly.
I mean, I think you were absolutely right. Against the Axe, there comes this point where there are so many summons that, sure, he's getting some spins, but he just dies so quickly.
I mean, he also just didn't have any initiations, honestly. I think the Axe just didn't come online fast enough. You get this Vanguard. If you don't farm instantly towards that Blink Dagger, it just the hero just feels kind of useless. And I feel like we had a lot of the same problems in Game 1 to Game 2, where YapzOr's on this hero. Much like the Monkey King, the Wind Ranger obviously needs items before the ultimate becomes useful. It's the exact same thing. And you're trying to get there, you're trying to get this damage going for your team, but the game's over. Yeah. Honestly, by the time he has Maelstrom Blink, he's being soloed by a Tinker at the side shot. Yeah.
I mean, you understand why YapzOr played the way that he did, but absolutely did not work out that game. 27k damage on Miracle in about 25 minutes, so pretty impressive.
Will the panel give him MVP again?
We'll see. Let's kick it back and hear their thoughts.
He is a very easy target to give MVP, to be sure, but I'm going to discuss that with my panel. Liquid victorious 2-0, Liquid in the top 3, looking very, very good. Secret, unfortunately, dropped down to the lower bracket, where they will face either VG Gaming or Newbie. They have to wait for their opponent. Regardless, though, they will play those matches on the main stage, so they'll also have the home crowd against them. Well, that's what I'm expecting anyway here with the Sunsfan as well as Bulldog and Capitalist. In this game, it started out looking pretty decent for Secret Sunsfan.
Yeah, but Tinker, I don't understand this hero. Like, why is he in the game? You know? Why does this hero exist in the game? It's just disgusting hero on all levels. I don't know whether it's Secret just not looking great in this particular series, or if Liquid just played out of their mind. I feel like it's a little of both, obviously. Yeah. This is not how Secret, like when I think of Secret in terms of their ceiling, this is definitely not it.
Yeah, and the game just looks so good for Liquid this game. The laning phase was a little bit shaky again. They ganked Miracle, and doesn't matter, he still comes back online. And problem here is that their laning phase went well for Secret, but then the game goes on, Visage gets levels, and then they start grouping up with 4 heroes, and then the way Secret has to respond to this is by split pushing on the other lanes, and then Tinker just solo kill after solo kill after solo kill. And you don't expect your Tinker to solo kill PL all the time, and this happened more than once, so this is a big problem.
This is simplifying a little bit, but if you were to take these drafts and just say that these teams kind of swapped ideas, right? Where this time around it's going to be Team Secret with the faster execution, who are kind of on a timeline here, and they need to be able to repeatedly gank and take objectives and close out this game. If you look at the difference of these drafts, is that Secret actually don't have any objective taking, where Liquid actually had very good in the form of the Death Prophet. And then on the other side of the table, Liquid has a really good lane shove, whereas Secret actually didn't have that, right? They pretty much just had hoping Arc Warden would split push. You compare that to what a Tinker and the pressure he's able to put onto the map while simultaneously also being there for those team fights. It's a lot different. Beastmaster, Visage is great at being able to take objectives for you as well. So you just look at this, and I think it was just a draft advantage for Liquid in both Game 1 and 2.
Yeah, was it, I mean, could it be played differently for Secret? I mean, it feels like they started out good. You said, you know, they have to play fast in order to win, and that was, you know, they were on a timer, and that's all fine and sure. But I thought that they were on that, like, doing well.
I mean, but it's also the same thing as game number 1, where yes, you do this laning phase up where you gank the, you know, Miracle Tinker. Well, that's what you have to do. Those are like that's the bottom requirements of being able to win this game. There's a lot more steps to be taken here. So just having like an okay laning phase and being able to have a decent start there isn't going to be nearly good enough. They need to actually just completely dominate not just the laning phase, but every single phase afterwards, and then aggressively be trying to take objectives as they kill people. And it leaves for very little slip-ups. And I think that Liquid looked a lot cleaner. You look at Liquid in their high ground push from game number 1, that was a beautiful display of how to be able to push high ground while being very disciplined. And I think Secret, well, they didn't even get to that point, but I think they were just maybe a little bit sloppier play within the game. But again, the draft was also harder for them to be able to win.
And honestly, if you're playing as Liquid, you can't have anyone underperforming. And I felt like mid-1 this series was not playing as well as he should. If you want to beat Liquid, everyone has to play exceptionally well, and got to step up your game.
Anything to add to that, Suns fan?
No, I think they're going to do better in the lower bracket.
Yeah.
Depending on who they play, actually.
Well,
It's
we
a
can take a look
Chinese
at the bracket.
It should be easier.
Yes. Well, I didn't want to say yes to that, but
Yes.
VG Gaming and UV, that's a series that will happen later tonight. And,
Yes.
Yes.
They will definitely play a lot better because Secret, you look at game 1, I think that's the kind of game that Secret likes to be able to play.
Yeah.
Right? They want to be able to play a bit slower than many of the other Western teams. And the Chinese teams, especially VG Gaming, though VG Gaming is changing up their style a little bit, they're drafting pretty interesting, but Newbie as well. Like, Newbie's notoriously kind of a bit slower as a team. I think Secret, as a strategic matchup, will feel in a lot better.
Well, Liquid make it to the upper bracket finals to be played out in front of the home crowd coming Saturday, and already have guaranteed themselves $150,000, but they need their opponent. And I'm sure this, this 2-0 was nice, a little appetizer, but it's time for the main attraction. At least this is the match that I've been waiting for the whole week. Coming into this, I was on the flight, and all I was thinking about Virtus.pro versus LGD, and that's going to come up after the break. So get your snacks, get your drinks, get ready for the next matchup.